And we're live.
We're live.
It's
Wow.
happening. Hi.
Oh my
welcome.
God, we're doing it.
Welcome to Plus One EXP. We're doing a cult stream. That's why we're here. And I'm Sarah. I'm your real life stepdad and one of the cult leaders here doing the thing. If you're new here, Plus One is a weird little brand that multi-classes in tabletop game design, and the beard and skincare alchemy and the bardic college of content creation. The dream and hope here at Plus One is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games and help amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. And today
Sarah,
what?
Did you open a script during the middle of that?
Maybe.
Because you were spiraling. And
Was
then you
I?
weren't
Or was I being relatable? Anyways,
Maybe.
we're here to play.
These can be true.
We're here to play Littlewolves, which is a game where we talk about Halo games dressed up like little wolves. So I hope everybody is here for that content.
I'm really thinking about Halo right now, y'all. It's a problem.
Nevyn,
you should watch the Halo TV show.
I don't want to.
No.
Nevyn, instead of watching that Halo TV show, you should talk about Halo and yourself and introduce yourself to people who've never seen your face before.
Hey, what's up? I'm Nevyn. I have the spiciest Halo takes on the internet, and today we're going to be here playing a game that my partner Jam and I are working on over at Dynaberry Press called Littlewolves. It is a realm of folk and fae. It is a game about shape-shifting werewolves in an enchanted forest. It is a game about magic, witches, fae queens, and all sorts of weird little guys. We are going to be crowdfunding on BackerKit. Sorry, my headset messed up. We're going to be crowdfunding on BackerKit starting on May 14th. And if you are going to be at Breakout Con in a couple of weeks, you can find us and get some cool stickers. If you like what you see here tonight, then head on over to bytes.rip/littlewolves. It's a link down below Keegan's face. And you can follow the BackerKit campaign. Help us get the big numbers.
Nice. Vermin. You don't have to talk about Halo if you don't want to, but you should tell everybody who you are and what you're about.
Halo. I am Legendary Vermin. I like.
I'm mad at you.
I secretly like Halo 1 a lot, but mostly for its historical value. And of course, I am all over the internet doing TTRPG adjacent things. Tonight, I'm going to be playing Bragus with, who is one of the titular little wolves.
Nice. And last but certainly not least, Keegan.
Least,
yeah, that's fine. Hi, I'm Keegan. I'm the other half of the cult. I also stream here on Plus One EXP. I'll be playing Leaf, and thinking about Halo. Do you ever think about the fact that after Halo 1 came out, one of the first major video game releases post 9/11, he said that the reason Halo was so good was because it wasn't political.
Can you imagine thinking Halo isn't political? Can you imagine making Halo and thinking it's not political?
Can you imagine releasing a game about aliens destroying a big important city, and having that as the major plot point of the first major post 9/11 game release, and going, this isn't political?
I'm gonna lose it.
Sorry, who said that?
Oh, John Halo. I don't remember his name.
Oh, okay.
Whoever it was who was like the head writer for the game or whatever, said it was non-political. It's one of the funniest things I could imagine a person saying about Halo 1.
I think the only thing funnier is the designers of the Call of Duty games saying that they're not political.
Oh man, alive.
Yeah, we don't need to get into that though. Today we're here to be wolves and play a game that has political themes. Wow.
Nice.
Wow, you can put politics in games?
I do
A
have
game
a
about
little
being
antler
in
on my head
society.
now, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yes, you do. Everybody, yeah, so between I mean, are we ready to get into it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we're done talking about Halo.
I think we're done talking about Halo for
Maybe have
now.
a
This
little
is
bit more
a
Halo,
Halo
in the tank,
podcast
but I'll put it on the shelf.
Hey, chat, tell us what your favorite Halo game is. Thanks. And tell us why it's 5.
If you're watching this on YouTube, comment that. Yeah.
I will see it. That's fine.
Anyways, so the last time we played, the three of you helped the Court of Troll, the Court of the Troll, fix a portal that was going all willy wonky. what were some important things that happened during that? Leaf was a bit of a butthead and a diva, and it was great. Pivot was the embodiment of ADHD, and it was also great. And Bregaswith was extremely nervous talking to a hot witch, and it was also great.
It was so cute.
At the end of that, Bregaswith was invited up to visit the witch court, where I believe she's never been.
Always wanted to go.
Basically to see if you could get some help with that family curse you've got, where you can only eat soup. And today, that's what we're going to be doing. And we'll get to that in a minute. What I would like to talk about first, so at the end of the last session, you all got 2 XP points to spend on leveling up. What did y'all do with them? Let's start with you, Sarah.
This is an easy answer. I put 1 into Claw because I had 0 there and I wanted more than 1, which meant that I had 1 left. So I took the Mortal Active Power Decoy, which felt very fitting because I played Decoy in the encounter with the Red Hullabaloo. So I felt like this became a core part of my personality. I gained experience and now I'm very good at it.
Excellent. And what are your new marks that you've gained on your mask?
Oh yeah, that's right. So
I see some new differences there.
Yeah.
Yeah, real fast. Hello, Raiders.
Oh my
Thanks
gosh,
for joining.
hi.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome to the party.
You've missed nothing. We're starting now.
It's all my favorite people.
Don't go backwards.
To the Raiders, tonight we're going to be playing Little Wolves, a game that's coming to BackerKit for crowdfunding on May 14th. There's a link just below Keegan's face that'll take you to the BackerKit page.
And I'll take my mask off. I can move it closer. So we got 2 marks, 1 for helping the troll court. So I've got a little antler now, which is very cute. And then you can kind of see it because we did we got a mark of courage, right, Nevyn?
Mark of courage for Earth.
I have a little oak leaf on my snout that is silver to match Pivot's
Excellent.
vibe.
So how in Little Wolves, these marks physically change the actual character as well as they are represented on the mask. So the next time we see Pivot, she's going to have like a little antler growing out of her head and a little leaf on her nose. I'm very excited for that. Bregaswith, why don't you tell us about the marks and advancements that you took?
Hello. So Bregaswith, sort of in an attempt to make good on something that Keegan absolutely made fun of me for last time, I picked the 2 nerd advancements.
The only 2?
Well, I mean, the 2 that were most obviously compatible with my character. Artificer, which lets me fix things, and Soul Share, which lets me make more little guys who are a little bit like me. And I'll scoot in a little bit here. I represented those with the Mark of Courage told me green moss, and so I removed the moss and just said green accent underneath the eye, and then I was like, it'd be kind of cool to have a little rose pupil for my other mark, and so I did that.
Excellent. I love it so much. And last but not least, Leaf.
Least.
Least. I'm trying to be nice. We got people.
Since when?
Since when?
5 minutes ago. When did the Raiders show up?
Yeah, I got 2 new powers. I got Silver Tongue. I'm very good at gaslighting people into trusting the things I have to say.
Don't say gaslighting.
Sorry, my clever words convince a neutral or friendly creature to trust what I say. I will use it for gaslighting. I need that on record now. We know who my character is. And then from the troll court, I got Placid Ward. Placid Ward.
You told me you were going to say it too. Told me you were going to say it, and I feel like you tried not to. I don't think that was intentional there.
It was absolutely intentional, but
Sure.
anyway, Placid Ward, creatures at arm's length find themselves unable to harm me for a minute. So if gaslighting doesn't work, gatekeeping does. Oh no!
This is very good.
Which ability is your girl boss ability?
It's probably a Ring of Lost Keys, right? I can just go places I feel like I
Yeah,
belong.
100%.
Yeah.
And then for my mask, I added a bunch of green gemstones, as well as I have 2 little mushroom antennas now.
Excellent.
Missed opportunity to get Forest Call and have a little guy that you can just order around.
I should. If
girl
I
boss.
level up again, I'll get Forest Call.
Nice.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
have to help out the troll court to get Forest Call.
That's fair. That's fair. But I did help them previously, so if you think about it.
Nope. You
No,
have,
this is me using Silver Tongue on you. You need to just believe it.
That's
Oh no!
Unfortunate for you, I'm not friendly or neutral.
Yeah, never mind. That's on me. Egg on my face.
Yeah, it looks very silly now, but it's okay.
All right. So, welcome back to the Enchanted Forest. I think it's probably been a few days since your last adventure. Pivot, you are a member of the Witch Court. So you're already here.
Mm-hmm.
Leaf, I think that you probably got a missive from the Queen, just as previously saying, hey, we could use a few wolves to help us out. We got a thing we need doing. So that's why you're going to show up.
Perfect.
Bregaswith.
And can I have also sent like a really sweet letter that absolutely did not get read?
Oh, yeah, no.
Aw.
Give me like some high level snippets of what it said.
Oh, no, you're
Dear
asking
crossed
Truman to be
out,
nice.
my friend crossed out, then just
Thinking to
leave.
one piece of paper, not just starting over or erasing.
Well, we're seeing the letter be composed, right? There's a
Gotcha,
draft
gotcha.
of
We're
paper and then
drafting.
the actual where I'm gonna write it in calligraphy. And then it said things like, you were a real great help on the last mission. And also I would like to learn how to be confident like you.
Aww.
And I imagine at some point it got used as like a coaster to protect some piece of furniture from getting little rings on it from a cold beverage.
I was like,
Not
oh,
even
this is a
opened.
nice paper. This make a nice pocket square. It's never been opened.
Do you have the pocket square?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, perfect. So I think the camera the episode opens, so to speak, with a nice little flyover of the forest. We see birds and bugs and all sorts of stuff just flitting around. We fly through a swarm of fireflies and swing past some will-o'-the-wisps as we make our way up to. Let me get the map so that I can remember what these places
Are we headed to Zephyr's Rest?
Hey, somebody had the map pulled up. We are heading to Zephyr's Rest in the northmost reaches of the Enchanted Forest, just before the spine of the forest and the kind of outer wilds area. Zephyr's Rest lies in Whisperer's Canyon, which for you actually is relatively close to your hometown of Candlewick, Bregaswith. As you approach, you see the camera zooms in on you, and we're kind of following you as you approach the city gates, as it were. But you notice that there's not really gates or a main entrance because Zephyr's Rest is built into and on a cliffside. This is a massive canyon. Think at the scale of the Grand Canyon, if not larger, with some more plateaus in it. And the town is, when I say built into the side of, it's not just on the face of the cliff. There are tunnels and buildings built within and without and above. And you You know that you are here to see Bay, I believe it was, who asked you, or was it Time?
I don't remember.
I think it was
Uh,
Bay.
I think it was
thought
Bay.
it was
Bay was stressed. The first because
Wait, no.
Bay was the first one that we met that was really stressed. It was either I think it was Cardamom.
Cardamom.
Mhm.
Cardamom was the really nice one who was
Yeah.
very curious about things, I think. So that makes
Yeah,
sense.
I think it was Cardamom.
So you know that you're here to meet Cardamom. You don't necessarily know that Celine, the queen of the witch court, has sent out a request for aid. But here you are approaching the town gates. Witches are kind of walking all around. You see some that have these little lizards on their shoulders, or some that are walking next to a lizard that's maybe like the size of a dog. And yeah, you approach the gates, and what do you do?
I look around and I take off my backpack, which is like overstuffed. There's all sorts of things attached to and hanging off of it. I rummage around until I find a map, and then realize that I still don't really know where I'm going, and really try to get someone's attention without actually interrupting them. Just waiting for somebody to acknowledge me enough to ask directions.
Well, that's going on. Why don't we hop over to Pivot? What does a day in the life of Pivot look like? What are you doing around 11 a.m.?
I think I'm avoiding a task that would normally only take me like 5 minutes to do if I just did it. But I'm convinced that it's the worst possible thing that I could do with my time.
This is absolutely something that Bay asked you to do. We established that
100%.
Bay was kind of like a teacher or a mentor for you.
I mean, whether it's like practicing like little rituals or studying something, I have deemed that that is not worth my time. And I think that I'm probably out and about, like just kind of roaming around, looking at things, offering to help random people with whatever I see, just literally anything to keep me from doing the thing that I should be doing in this moment.
I think while you are taking a very active approach to procrastination, you find yourself towards the entrance of town, and you recognize somebody. You would probably recognize that big overstuffed backpack anywhere.
I will. I sprint up, just yelling at the top of my Bark Sparrow, oh my gosh, you're here! And we'll like kind of crash into the bag, not able to stop myself. And we'll just very excited. Oh my gosh, you're here. This is like the best day of my life. I can't even believe it. Why are you here? Oh my gosh, are you here to see Cardamom? You're totally here to see Cardamom. Do you need help finding that place? I can totally take you there.
Yeah, I did send a letter. You're probably busy and you didn't have time to read it.
I know. I got it. I got it. And I'll actually pull out from a little pocket, and you'll see that like I absolutely do have it. It's covered in smudges. Like I've been carrying it around with me everywhere, and like the folds have been folded like too many times. Like I've opened and like shown it to every person that I like, look, I have a friend. And I've been very excited about this letter.
In my head, the letter that you've been showing people at one point looked like a beautiful page from an illuminated manuscript.
Yes.
And doesn't no more.
No, this looks like a newspaper clipping that's been hanging on someone's fridge for a real long time.
You know how some people like age faster in a stressful job? That, but for paper.
Yeah, but for paper. Yeah, I got it, and I thought it was really, really great. And I was gonna totally write you one back, but then I forgot that I was supposed to be doing that because I was supposed to be doing something else.
It's okay. I'm I'm glad that you got a lot of use out of it.
Oh yeah, I love it. It's my new favorite thing. Also, did you want to see this? And Pivot will like bend down her head and like point at the little antler that's growing out of the top of her head, and be very excited about it. Like, huh?
Wait. Pops and shows off the rose pupil, which I think does actually like it's a functional iris pupil situation.
Gotcha. It just looks that's so fucking cool.
When it's it like blooms and then like goes to sleep as it's like opening and closing, right? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
so
So
cool.
like when my eye is really wide, it like the
It's like in
iris
full bloom.
extends out.
Yeah. Extremely cool.
Oh
Naruto shit.
my gosh, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. How do you get more and more metal every day? I just don't even understand it. You're impossibly cool. Did you know that? Gosh, you're just too cool. This is probably why Cardamom invited you over to her house for a party.
Like Pivot.
And Pivot is now very excitedly trying to lead Barkspitter to Cardamom's place.
So
there's like a transform out and back so that the backpack gets smushed into my wolf form.
nice. Sorry, I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Okay. I think, Pivot, you would know that at this time of day, Cardamom is actually in the school doing their kind of daily research. Just it's working hours right now. So you lead Bregaswith up to the school and to kind of the gates of that. There's a couple of witches who are kind of standing out front, and they see that it's you and they let you in. And when you enter, it's like a big library slash everyone's open floor plan office, kind of just lined up and scattered around, because you don't want to have to go through doors when you have to go get specific books. You just want to be able to get to it and get back. And some witches are flying around on brooms. Some are just flapping wings and flying. And you know where Cardamom's station is, and you go up, and there they are. And coincidentally, with them right now is Leaf.
Yeah, Leaf showed up 20 minutes late, but was told the time 2 hours ahead of everybody else. So Leaf is here. They have raided the library coffee cart already.
How many
You got my letter.
Oh, yes, it's pristine condition still.
And sees like the wax seal. I'm glad you're here.
Yes, you as well.
Okay.
So Cardamom kind of looks up, hearing Pivot's okay, and just goes, "Oh, hello, you made it. Excellent." Pivot,
Yes.
did you do the thing that Bay asked you to do?
I mean, I'm trying to figure out the approach I want to take on this particular project, because I think most people would just want to like dive in without actually talking to the appropriate stakeholders to understand the parameters of what the ask really is. And I just want to make sure that we're not wasting any valuable resources.
They like hold your muzzle closed. Pivot.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to feed the newts.
Moots.
And then, like, let's go.
They're so slimy. Gets on my fur.
So, you know, you can
Rose
shift out.
flames really big. You have newts here?
Oh my gosh, Hannah, do you want to see them? I'll totally show you to them. And then you to them. Them to you?
We absolutely have newts. And we'll be more than happy to show you some. Thank you, Bregaswith, for making it. I'm very excited to dig into the origins and nature of this curse of yours. I find you incredibly interesting, and I can't wait to try and
Uh,
help.
Immediately as transforming it back to human turns bright red.
Yep, perfect. But unfortunately, there are a few things that take precedence. Pivot, I'll have somebody else feed the newts because we need you for something else. But you're gonna have to feed them twice tomorrow. So,
Crap. Twice?
yeah, twice.
Can I
They
just
eat more than once in a day. Pivot.
But if you feed them one time, but feed them a lot.
No, you can't open feed newts. They'll just keep eating.
Newt's famously a strange reptile that eats multiple times a day.
Well, so there's something that Pivot knows about the newts in the Enchanted Forest that the two of you probably don't. And that's that the newts that the witches call friends and familiars never stop growing.
So they're
Ancient newts are sometimes called dragons.
That'll do it.
So when now as players you'd know this, and when Pivot says I don't want to feed the newts, they're probably very big, bigger than her.
And slimy.
believe I know this fact, and I still think Newt is afraid of. Pivot is afraid of tiny newts.
These two things can be true.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, we'll be more than happy to show you some newts later. But for now, the queen, Celine, is actually wanting to meet the three of you. We have something that we need help with rather quickly. So if at all possible, just follow me. And they like wave their hands at their desk, and everything just like gets tidied up and like tucked in a little bag.
Real life vermin wants that.
It's so good. Okay, so just come with me, and you all follow Cardamom up to the queen's office or study. And they kind of just knock on the door. And when that happens, you kind of hear like a and like some books falling over, and the clattering of glass as various things fall and almost break but don't. And then a creak as Cardamom opens the door. Celine, the wolves are here. And Celine goes, yes, yeah, just let him in. We gotta make this kind of quick. Let's get to it. And let me pull up the description for Celine. I can actually show a picture of Celine too,
Ooh, nice.
as we have officially shared this. I should have had this stuff ready. I'm sorry that I didn't.
You're A-okay.
Do me a favor and vamp for a little bit.
Every time someone says vamp, all I can think about is that Wendy Williams singing on The Masked Singer.
So
This isn't going to make sense to anyone, and that's great for me.
Earlier, I don't know if you said this on stream or just in chat, but Nevyn earlier described Bregaswith's relationship with Cardamom as like a crush on a witch, and it's more like a crush on the concept of a witch. So every time something even remotely like witch magical has happened, Bregaswith has had to be like steered back towards whatever we're supposed to be doing or wherever we're supposed to be going. And seeing the inside of Celine's office is like, yeah, gobsmacked.
It must be hard for you to travel with me, knowing I'm the greatest witch of our generation. I mean, I finished that spell last session without even knowing how to do magic, and that's, just latent witchery.
Okay, I found it. So Celine, the current queen of the witches, is quite tall and has feathers growing from her head as if it were hair. They go down to about her mid back. They are pale yellow and brittle. She has a low, wide brimmed witch's hat with wings kind of sprouting from the top. And she wears a very loose cloak over top of a simple green dress underneath. That shown there is a character design sketch from Grindel Mins, our witch artist.
Which artist?
Yes, the one that's doing the witches.
Okay, cool.
That is Celine. That is a work in progress design for Celine, the Queen of the Witches. And as you enter the room, you notice that the office is very disheveled. There are stacks and stacks of books. There's like 4 different cups of beverages, each with a different straw and at different levels of finished. There's pieces of paper that seem to be stuck to the wall. And you enter, and she basically just, okay, just straightens things out. Hello. Hello. Hello, wolves. I'm Celine, the Queen of the Witches. Pivot, you already knew that. Pivot, why don't you introduce me to your friends?
Oh, right. Okay. Well, this is Leaf. And they are very interesting. And Leaf,
Interesting.
Pivot is in her person form, so she's 17 years old, silver hair and a short bob, bright blue eyes, wearing like soft grays, like very like casual clothes, probably like Converse shoes or the Faye equivalent, and is like trying, like looking at Leaf as like, yeah, they once put their whole head in a mushroom hole. It was really cool and very helpful. That's Leaf. And this is Barkspear, who might be the coolest person I've ever met in my entire life, because that name, are you kidding me? And they didn't even pick it for themselves.
They can only eat soup.
Oh my gosh, you can only eat soup?
That's why they call me bark. There's a kind of bark that is like nice to chew, and most people just end up eating it with like spice, spicing it and eating it. But I can't just eat it. I have to spit it out.
Oh. Does it look really cool when you do it? I bet it
Pivot's
does.
world being shattered in real time.
Does it look cool when you spit? Like chewing tobacco? Or...
Well, I mean, I guess it could be, maybe. I don't know. But either way, Barkspear wrote me a letter, so she is my friend. And that's pretty cool for me. And both of us, honestly, because I'm also pretty cool.
Yes, you most certainly are, Pivot. One of the coolest. And the entire time that you've kind of been talking, Celine has been rolling up a magical herb cigarette. She's been rolling a joint.
Yes.
And she kind of sits back and lights it. Okay, so I just saw what Keegan said in chat.
You know.
So I'm glad that you were all able to make it. Here's the deal. I need a favor. One of my dear friends, an ancient dragon, who helps with a lot of crafting in the forest and smithing in the forest, needs a bit of a top up on her crystals. There's a cave nearby in the canyon, at the bottom of the canyon along the river, where these crystals grow and are kept. I just need you to go and get some for me so that we can get them to my friend so that she may continue to grace us with her. Yes, Barkspitter, was it?
Or Bragus with any specific kind of crystals? Is it quartz or maybe some kind of agate or and just continues to list
Yeah, she
different kinds
she
of
lets
crystals
this
until
she lets
interrupted.
this go. She lets this go for a bit, just kind of smiling. Well, I'll stop you there because I see your well of crystal knowledge is nowhere near about to run out. No, nothing of the sort, really. These are elemental crystals. We keep them in a vault for safekeeping. And truly, I just need a few of them.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Do I have to go?
Well, aren't these your friends? Don't you
Ye-
want to help your friends?
Yeah, but they're probably really good at it, and I don't know
if
if
you want to stay behind and feed the newts, I'm sure they could use you here. I think me and Barkspit could take care of it, and you could just feed newts all day.
and Pivot will just start making this really low grade sound, and she's gonna just go and sit by the door.
I'm getting the vibe that Pivot simply doesn't like being told what to do.
I think there's a little column A, column B. But also, Pivot has a reoccurring dream. That is matches a lot of the details here.
Oh
And
yes, one of your shadows.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and so I think that Celine being like, yeah, so there's this cave with these crystals, and you just gotta go touch them. Has Pivot real fucked up right now.
Awesome. Good to know a reason why the vibes are off.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so Pivot, you don't have to go. I can't make you do anything, but I think it would be good for you to go.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
Uh,
Any other questions for me? If not, I believe Cardamom can show you roughly the direction that you need to go. We can't give you all the details, otherwise this wouldn't really be any fun, would it?
No, I guess not.
You mean this one gets to be fun?
Aren't all adventures fun?
Well,
No.
no, because Bay told me that feeding newts was fun, and it wasn't.
Feeding newts is hardly an adventure. That's a chore.
Correct. Tell Bay that.
Bay knows.
Oh my gosh, Bay's lying to me.
Pivot. Sweet summer child Pivot. Bay is weird.
I like Bay, but I just wish sometimes she wasn't so stressed out all the time.
In
You know-
Bay's defense, it does seem like maybe the way you feed the newts might be an adventure for you.
Okay, but once I learned that I could jump over them and drop the food down, it made it way less scary than when they're trying to snap it right out of my hands, okay? How was I supposed to know there was stuff in the ceiling to keep them from flying out? Nobody said anything.
Smash cut to a previous instance where you got caught in a giant newt's mouth. And then smash cut back.
Your fur gets slimy.
Well, Bregaswith, did you have any final questions for me? Excellent. Then good luck. I'll be here when you get back. Takes a long drag and releases a puff of smoke in the shape of a newt that then waves at you and then dissipates.
Great, I leave.
Can all witches do that?
Well, I
Only the
mean,
cool ones.
Yeah, what they said.
In canon, only weed witches. Tell us about those.
All of them.
Okay, cool.
Excellent. Yeah.
There's three things which really love to do. Dance in the sky at night to keep it clear of clouds. Smoke, and make potions.
They're just like me for real.
I was gonna say.
All witches do is eat hot chip and lie.
Smoke weed and lie. I hate that we went for the same joke there.
I think it's great.
So the
yeah.
three of you kind of make your way out. Cardamom is there outside of the chambers waiting for you, and it's like, well, so she filled you in. I'll kind of show you the way, and we can do a little walk and talk segment here, because Cardamom's just going to lead you out to the edge of town, unless do y'all want to ask people around town any questions? Do you want to do anything here in Witchville, USA?
Cardamom, do you happen to have any of some, like, I don't know, magic gloves that makes it when you touch something you don't actually touch something with your hands?
I think those are just called gloves.
That's just a glove.
No, I'm pretty sure that there's some magic ones that will make that even more or less touching. You know what I mean?
You know what? Yeah, 1 second, and like picks up their hat and like reaches way into the hat and pulls out single black glove.
Nice. And I will, with zero hesitation, cram it onto my right hand.
It doesn't really fit you very well. It's a little snug. But you know.
Okay.
No one told me I was supposed to pack gloves.
Well, you might not need gloves.
Why do you think you need gloves? I'm sure if we needed gloves, they would have told us, hey, here are some gloves.
Yeah.
I don't think that's their vibe, honestly. I don't think they would tell us if we needed something.
And Cardamom kind of goes like this.
And Pivot will kind of look nervously at Cardamom, and then towards you, Brucewith, and say, well, it's just that every night I have the same dream, and I told the queen about it, and she's like, I don't know what it means, but I think she knows what it means. And it was like, I don't know, I went to a cave where there were magic crystals, and I touched one, and they all melted, and I was drowning in light, and I couldn't breathe, and I tried to cry out, and I couldn't, and then I would have to wake up and go back to sleep again.
Oh, the classic touched a crystal dream. They didn't tell. That's okay. You'll figure it out.
Huh?
Yeah,
Does
when all your
everyone have
crystals
that
fall
dream?
out in a dream, it
Well, they don't fall out. They just kind of melt, and then I'm stuck in it, and it's awful.
Yeah, and then you like drown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
classic
an awful dream. Do we all have that dream? I don't want to
you-
have that dream.
You haven't had this dream?
No.
Reg, they're messing with you.
I'm not missing you. I'm 100% telling you the truth. You're my best friend. I would never tell a lie to you. This is my deepest, most personal secret that I just told you in front of, like, essentially my mom.
We can unpack that later. So here we are in the edge of town.
Right before it cuts to us at the edge of the town, you get, so did you sleep with a...
So we get to the edge of town, and there's, I mean, it's a vast canyon. At one point, this may have been filled with water. This may have been an ocean at one point. But now, it's just a canyon. And miles and miles and miles down, you can see a faint trail of a river that runs down the center, weaving to and fro. Across the walls are old holes, lots of plants and brush kind of growing. And there's an elevator down. There are also paths that you can go through on the inside. And Cardamom just points and goes, well, here's the canyon.
Great, thanks.
Bregaswith kind of peers down. So, but where's the cave?
Right over there. And points far away. At a very, what looks from here, a pixel-sized bush outside of a little 10 by 10 pixels again, cave of sorts.
Great, you got that right.
I'll rummage around in my rucksack a little bit more, pull out a map of the area, and kind of make a best guess as to where it is.
You're telling me Bregaswood doesn't have a sextant or a compass?
I don't know how to use a sextant. So maybe, yeah, probably.
Nevyn.
I don't know how to use one either. This is Nevyn out of character saying these things.
Ah, I see. Yeah, sure. We're still doing guesswork though.
Sextants in my TTRPGs?
I
But
think that goes
honestly-
against Twitch TOS.
Honestly, more TTRPGs should have sextants in them.
I'm gonna go right.
The way I
sextants
do
into
it,
my
they all
name.
have sex.
You're saying it is 2 words, Keegan. That's
just how I talk.
anyways.
That's my accent.
So you mark a spot on the map that's kind of your best guess. And Cardamom just says, well, if there's nothing else, then all I can really say is good luck. We'll be here when you get back. Don't fuck it up.
Why'd you have to say the last part, Cardamom? And Pivot will just kind of like,
Is there
Push
a high
shoulders.
probability of failure?
Well, maybe. Maybe not.
I like her.
You just have to go and figure it out. You just have to do it, and then you'll know.
We're walking towards
Starts
the elevator.
speaking. Yeah.
As you're walking away, Cardamom just kind of says, Pivot, one of these days you'll learn to ask the right questions.
What does that even mean?
You know how
That's a
Pivot,
start.
while rocking, like, Pivot, you know how they say there's no bad questions?
No, that is not true. Bay has told me several times that I ask a lot of bad questions.
Okay, cool. I was going to make sure you knew there were bad questions.
No, 100% there are bad questions. And sometimes, here, I'll be so honest with you guys now that we're alone. You can ask witches anything and they'll never tell you. Like, I think that, like, they want you to learn and, like, okay. But sometimes it would just be nice if they would just tell you so you could just do it and be done and then go do fun things. But instead, they want you to, like, suffer.
Yeah, they're just
What
like me,
is-
for real.
What is
I think they
Pivot
want you.
doing in the witch court?
That is a great question.
Was it? We can keep it even simpler than that. Was Pivot born into the witch court, or did they come here at some point and join?
I think they were found by the witch court.
I love that.
And so I think that, like, they were found, she was found, she's been kind of, like, they've been introducing her to, like, all of the things, and she's grown up in this environment, but never really thrived, but also never shown an interest in, like, any other court in any meaningful way. And so the witches are just doing their best.
And they're doing great, honestly.
It feels like Pivot embodies like the representation of the wind element stuff. But the witches are also just like incredibly academic on top of that, and that's the part that doesn't vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
is
think
exactly it.
that's exactly what I've been going for, right? Like Pivot is like when you talk about magic and all of this and like the air, it is flippant and it can like serious and all of these like it's all of these contradictions, and where the witches are very put together and like have a society, they're learning, they're doing all this stuff. Pivot just wants to have fun. Pivot just wants to do Pivot stuff, and finds
There's
a lot of
definitely like
like the rest
I
of
have
this
always
is
I've always imagined that. So there's the academy, and young witches go there to learn. And I have always imagined that there are some truly devastating senior pranks, as it were. I imagine the collegiate witches really get up to no good.
I love it.
And the witches that we are interacting with are like, I mean, I've described them all as having feathers, and as witches age, they turn into harpies. So the more feathers a witch has, yes.
Are they wing and arm harpies, or are they wing arm harpies?
Good question.
I'm sure it varies.
Ooh, I love
And
that.
I'm sure if a werewolf witch gets old enough, you know, they could probably shift between.
I didn't even know that was on the table.
You're a wolf with feathers and wings, but your arms are feathers. Your arms are the wings.
Your arms are just two feathers.
Yeah,
really tiny.
I'm trying to figure out the worst way to harpify wolf.
A wolf. Oh my god.
There's a lot of really bad ways. Anyways, yeah, I'm sure that, you know, all of the witches that y'all have been interacting with are kind of older and they've already had it. So they're just they're playful in a different way.
Yeah, I think
Mellowed out.
I think it's very
Yeah.
much like the energy I've been trying to bring is that like witches understand that there are rules and that they can break them and do fun things. Pivot just wants to Pivot doesn't want to understand the rules. She just wants to go straight
Just
to the
wants
breaking
break
them.
things.
Correct.
Yeah, excellent. Pivot's a very fun character. To snap us back in, I think y'all kind of just like have this conversation as you descend this elevator, which just kind of takes its time. It's not that the elevator is moving slowly, it's that it's like miles down. Yes.
Have we recovered any resolve since last time?
At the end of the last time when y'all met with the queen, everything
that
is
recovers your
recharged.
resolve.
You should have all
Right,
your
right.
resolve back. You should have all uses of your powers back.
Cool.
And I would say that by the time you get to the bottom of the elevator and you land in the valley, I would say between meeting the queen, goofing around, riding the elevator down, it's probably been another couple of hours. So I would say it's probably early afternoon. And here you are at the base of the canyon. You have the rough direction that you need to go. Yeah. Do y'all just
Well-
head off, follow the river? Did you want to?
It's that way. Not
And you
there's
go that way.
many options in a canyon.
This is true. You have two directions, and you know which one is basically correct. Yeah, I would say it's honestly probably another hour or so of hiking. Huge canyon, big canyon. But eventually you come up to a crossing that is just outside of what you believe to be the correct hole, given that there's the bush there, there's the river crossing. I keep doing this. I can't keep doing this. I need to be stopped.
I'm glad we know it's the right hole because that's a bush.
I'm assuming it's larger than the previous hole. This is discussed.
Can I do more than stick my head in it this time?
How many of us can stick our heads in this one, would you say?
So we're coming to Backer Camp May 14th. You can head to bytes.rip/littlewolves if you want to learn all about these caves in a canyon with bushes and moles. So there's a river crossing. And it's it actually looks I actually think as you begin to approach this cave, I need one of you to roll a d6 for me. This isn't for anything specific, I promise. Just tell me what element you get.
I got a 2, which is wind.
Yeah, as you approach this cave in this crossing, the wind is beginning to pick up more and more the closer that you get, and it's hard to tell if this wind is coming from the cave or if it's just a thing of the canyon, but it feels cold and then hot at the same time. It feels like the wind is carrying an abnormal amount of humidity, and you notice that the crossing, the water is slowly beginning to rise up on the river, and it's beginning to pick up speed as you approach. The cave is on the other side of the river.
I'm worried about walking across the river here. Is there? Have you ever gone to this cave before? Is there a better place to cross?
I'm pretty anti going in caves, given the thing with the sleeping and the seeing of things.
Given my trauma.
So no, I didn't even know this cave was here. And I don't think we have enough time to build a boat.
No, doing that right takes a lot of time.
Oh. I mean, I guess kind of. Leaf, what do you think? Does it take a long time to build a boat?
I think we could fjord the river. Yeah, that's fine.
No, what do you think about the situation at hand? Do you think it takes a long time to build a boat?
Yeah. I'm ignoring the ask question and answering the better one in an effort to help you.
No, Leaf, we don't want to fjord the river. We want to cross it.
Great. Let's do that.
Cool. How do you want to do it? Because apparently it's going to take too long to build a boat.
I think we could just walk across it. I'm going to step in.
Okay.
I'm really just waiting for the sight gag where I get carried off downstream,
Whoosh.
and then I walk back wet 20 minutes later.
An elven maiden stands on the edges of the river and summons down the ancient power of the river to sweep you away.
You get run over by horses made of water.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and make the first check of the session.
Great.
So, you're kind of just going for it.
Yeah, I'm just going for it. I'm expecting to fail this roll, as I fail
Perfect.
almost every roll.
I think Claw makes the most sense as an attribute for this check.
Sure, sure.
Given that you're, having to keep your balance, having to make it across with some sure footing.
Egan's not wearing the hat.
Oh yeah, you're not wearing the hat.
I was doing this as a person for clarity.
Great. So what element do we think this is?
I mean, I want to argue in this case that we do say this is water.
Okay. How?
Well, you see the stuff coming down the river now.
Right, but the element that you make a check with isn't about what you're involving yourself with. It is your approach.
I understand
your
that.
approach here.
But I do want to
like
argue.
Earth to me.
I do want to argue.
You can argue.
I do want to argue.
No, it's absolutely Earth, which I am famously weak in. Because as Mermaid Clan, I can't cross water for whatever reason.
You could try and swim across.
No, I'm gonna try to walk across. It's fine.
Well, then there we go.
You've made your choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna only get 1d6 by the end of this, and I'm fine
We
with that.
start with 1.
Yep.
Then you haven't used any powers here. You
Nope.
don't get your attributes.
Nope.
You are weak in the element, so you would lose a die.
Right.
You always roll at least 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's it. So go ahead and roll that die. Keep in mind, you do have your luck. Luck carries over between sessions.
Well, I didn't write it down, so I don't have that.
I think you had 1.
I think it might be on my notepad still. Let me open it real fast. I was out.
Okay, great. Then you don't have any luck. You are rolling 1 die, and you were looking for a 4.
Or a 6.
Or a 6.
And I got a 1.
Now
You
you,
gain
have
some
luck.
So first gain luck, then lose 1 resolve.
Yeah, that makes sense.
As you are swept away and come walking back 20 minutes later, stopping wet.
Yeah, so I don't think we can just walk across the river.
What if we moonwalk across the river? Huh?
Yeah, you should try that.
I absolutely do want to try this, but I want to try and like we've established in the past that Pivot can't just be chill about anything. If there are any kind of rocks sticking out of the water, or like I want to try and hop, skip, jump.
Yeah.
My way across.
Rocks, like some big slick rocks, are what the crossing is made out of.
Perfect. Yeah, I just want to do this thing and look cool doing it.
Excellent. So, sounds like Claw.
Yes, I would agree with that.
And your approach here, what's the vibe? What are you going for?
I think it is very like I'm trying to jump and land on the stones. So I would argue that it is like that precision dexterity that would fall
Going
in
for that wind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So start with 1 die.
Excellent.
And then gain dice for your attributes.
I have 1 in claw now because I'm very smart.
And you are strong in wind.
Yes.
So
that's
that is 3 dice. I don't think you have an upper hand here or anything like that.
No.
So roll those 3 dice. You are looking for a 2 or a 6.
Excellent. I got a 6, a 5, and a 3.
Hell yeah. So yeah, what does it look like as you just get across this with no chill?
I think Leaf goes, "You should do that," and Pivot just goes, "Okay," and like full
Does it?
Does it? Like there's a lot of flourishness about it, like maybe like some spins on a single paw as she hops across the rocks and gets to the other side, and will like jump around very excited and let out some yahoos kind of a deal, and turn and look at Barkspitter. Can you believe I just did that? That was so cool, right?
That wasn't a moonwalk, to be fair.
Sure
It was really cool.
I think at that point, Pivot will look confused and look up. Oh, you're right. It's daytime. You're right.
Bregaswith is going to very carefully look for the most walkable part of the river, where it's the shallowest and least likely to sweep her away, and then carefully pick a way across the river.
In that giant backpack of yours, do you have a rope?
Of course I have a rope.
It feels like a great time to use that. Make the river more crossable for everybody in the future.
But we don't have any way to stake the rope in for permanence.
I can hold it.
I mean, I do have pythons and a hammer, but
I do have all of the things that are needed.
To make a bridge.
I'm just sitting there shaking my head, just nodding.
I don't think I can throw a hammer that far. I'm not super strong. Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
out of character. That makes sense.
Absolutely. Getting the rope across, I'm not going to make y'all roll for that.
Cool.
what happens is we ask Pivot to run back across the river and grab the front of the rope,
Absolutely.
and then run back to the other side with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
So were y'all using the rope to help you get across?
yeah.
I was
we
using at least the
drive
rope to help me get
some
across.
pythons into the stone on
Yeah.
either side of, like a big rock on either side of the river, so that we can like hold on to that as we go.
I think that's fine. I think y'all are able to do that, and the two of you are able to get across without any further issues.
Nice.
Perfect. Thank you.
As you approach the mouth of the cave, you find yourselves stopping at the right at the entrance, as another humid gust of wind blows by, almost as if to push you away from the cave.
It windy.
Windy.
It's fucking windy.
We're gonna need
Uh,
to say it at some point.
Bregaswith is not superstitious about wind in canyons, and is gonna just forge ahead.
This wind came from the cave.
Yeah, but there's probably like a hole on the other side.
Not a human.
don't need to keep talking about holes.
This is a wind tunnel in the most literal sense. This is probably why the witches didn't want to come here, because they can fly and their bones are probably hollow or something. They can't walk through the wind properly because they just don't weigh enough. Yeah.
I like the side of you, Brix.
I think Pivot is very hesitant to enter the cave. She will do so, but it will be after her friends do.
Well, why don't you walk ahead of me, and I'll keep your back
I
safe.
don't think that I should do that. I think you should go first, because this is probably your first time being around this kind of stuff, right? And you don't want to miss out on that experience of a lifetime that we're having together. You should just go, and Pivot will push Leaf in front of her.
Wouldn't the safest spot to be between the two of us?
I was trying to be nice, but that's okay. I'll go first.
It's so hard to tell.
I'm always so nice and genuine. I don't know.
The silence is canonical.
I just look at Brigaswith for help. Like, I don't know.
Let's go.
Yeah, we follow Brex with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I walk into the cave.
I take
I ain't
the
afraid of
middle.
no ghosts.
You proceed into the cave, and after a little bit of walking, you find yourselves in a chamber. There is a large stone-hewn door carved directly into the opposite wall of this chamber from where you entered. It's carved with very intricate details of witch iconography, forest iconography, as well as kind of framed around its arch in ancient runes. There are, around the room, there are 3 separate chains that are hanging from the ceiling in different locations. Sorry, not 3, there's 4 of them, kind of one in each corner. It's not a massive room, but that's where you are. It is cold and damp in here.
I think Brigaswith immediately goes about like looking at the ancient runes, looking at the chains. Are the chains like anchored, or are they like going into
They're kind of coming
a cutout
out of the
portion of the wall?
They are coming out of the ceiling.
Okay.
Or I guess
But we can't see like a metal fastener or anything there.
No, you don't see any mechanisms. There are little charms hanging on the bottoms of each of them, and they have different symbols. One is a key, a paw, a feather, and an eye.
Pivot, do you know what these mean?
I mean, it depends on the witch. Sometimes they mean something, and sometimes they don't mean something. It's hard to remember. Because, like, sometimes the eye means look at this really carefully, and other times the eye means go away, cursed.
An eye is very vague. Are we talking a human eye? Are we talking like a warding eye? Are we talking about like a snake's eye?
It is a very simple, maybe 4 lines, 2 lines, top, bottom, circle in the middle, carved with a chisel.
Okay, cool.
Do they mean anything to you, Leaf?
No, I'm not a witch. In my court, we would have just written what these things meant.
What are you in your court?
Sorry, what's the question here?
Well, you said you're not a witch, so, like, then what are you?
I'm a shifter.
Mm-hmm. That's it?
But like, I'm a psychopomp.
And I'm Pivot, so...
Incredible. I think we should try pulling on one of these chains.
I think that's
yeah,
inadvisable.
Which chain do you pull on?
Oh, I haven't pulled on any of them. I'm saying I think one of them should pull on these chains.
Ah, good.
I think I look at all of it, and I look at Brigismith and I go, and I want to use my immortal active of Hidden Lever. If you're stuck on a puzzle, you can accidentally solve it or find a clue.
Perfect. Excellent. Yeah, I think how to give you this. I think you kind of spin in an uncharacteristically patient and thoughtful moment for Pivot. You take the time to actually look at the runes that are framing the door. And you realize that, oh, this is from like an old child's tale that I heard when I was growing up. And it essentially says, no one key is correct.
So this says no one key is correct, and it's kind of from that old timey dealio that Time would sometimes tell me. But she was always telling me when I was falling asleep. Granted, it was in the middle of the day, but I was always falling asleep because it was boring. Anyways, what do you think that means? Does it mean that we can just do whatever makes sense to us in our hearts, in our minds?
It might mean that
I just do push on the door.
The door does not move.
Okay.
I imagine it means that there's more than one appropriate exit. Maybe there's more than one exit. And then
It
I'm
probably means I should use, and I just pull, I'm gonna use my active power, Ring of Lost Keys.
That works on locked doors. This door does not have a lock in that way.
Cool. I was like, how much can I break?
I appreciate it though.
Yeah, I was like, it's a door. It says like.
So again, the symbols on the chains were a key, a paw, an eye, and a feather.
I'm grabbing the feather chain and I am pulling it.
Okay, you pull the feather chain. Do you hold it down?
Yeah.
Okay, as you pull it, you're a ka-chunk. But nothing actually moves.
Do you want me to do something, Barkspitter?
Pull on the paw.
I want to go over and pull on...
Pull on the paw and hold it.
I want to go over and pull on the paw chain and hold it.
Yeah, same thing. Ka-chunk.
Okay, I'll go pull the one that's not the key.
The eye.
Okay, that was the feather or the eye, I think.
Eye. So
But
what's
I
left?
think it's
Yeah.
the
You
eye.
go over, you pull it, and after a ka-chunk, you start to hear the rattling of a mechanism, and the door begins to rumble open. As the door opens, you all release from your chains, and it's almost like the cave is making a sigh of relief as the door opens and more air rushes out, and you could swear that you just hear
So Pivot, do the caves here always talk?
Again, I will point out I'm pretty not particular about spending a lot of times in caves, and I would argue that this is probably the first cave that I have knowingly, willingly entered ever in my whole entire life. I was gonna ask you if you knew if caves breathed, because they did it in my dream, but that's because I never seen one before in real life with my eyes once.
Yeah, where I'm from, they don't. But I'm not sure if maybe the witches just like when the caves like speak to them or something. It would feel sort of on brand.
Maybe Cardamom was pointing further than we thought, and maybe she was pointing to a cave in the mermaid court, and we should go to there.
They
That
would have
seems
gems.
unlikely.
I mean, maybe.
What's beyond this door?
more cave, wouldn't you know it?
Hey!
Um,
I'm gonna transform out of wolf form. Grab a lantern that is set up to be like hung around your neck, and then transform back. So I've got like a little lantern collar
Cute.
situation.
oh, I love that.
And
Yeah.
point and then trot on.
Excellent. So there's a short winding path for a ways. You really only hear like the dripping of water and the rushing of wind every now and then. That wind seems to be kind of rhythmic as it comes from deeper in the cave. The temperature doesn't really change or anything like that, but you make progress, and after a few minutes, you find yourselves in yet another chamber. Yes.
Would you say that the wind comes in like slowly increasing and then slowing down waves?
No.
Okay.
It's just every now and then there's just more wind.
And it never lessens?
Oh, I misunderstood what you meant. It'll like go for a little bit and then stop, and then go for a little bit and then stop, like kind of rhythmic.
Does it change direction, like go towards us, away from us, or is it always from
It's always
deeper in the
going
cave?
out.
I was like, is this cave a giant breathing thing?
That's what I was thinking.
It is reminiscent of breathing, but if it were, you would think it would be going back in.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
This is all escaping. So you continue on and you find yourselves in another large chamber. This one is more ornate. And as you enter it, your hackles stand up on end because the room is just charged with energy. There are various statues around the room. There's a path right down the middle that was at one point very ornately carved and gilded even. And there are 6 pedestals on either side of the path that at one point had statues on them. You can see the crumbled remains of statues that look like people, like humans. Notably not like other denizens of the forest. They look like humans. And you know that these were human figures because the last 2 closest to another ornate door at the far side of the chamber are still intact and kneeling, facing each other on opposite sides of the path. Other than these statues in this door, there's not much else in this room. The door, you notice when that gust of wind comes out, the door before was big. This door is bigger. This is maybe a 10-foot tall stone door. And when that wind blows out, the door rattles and light comes out from inside of it.
Okay. I know. Cardman said they can't fuck it up. Okay.
Actually, Cardamom didn't say we can't fuck it up, only that we shouldn't.
Yeah, but that's what that's what she always says. She says she's not mad, she's just disappointed, and that's somehow worse.
I kind of wish she had said that we couldn't fuck it up.
We could just fuck it up.
But then what if they don't lift my curse?
Oh, I meant we could just bust the door.
Oh! I'm not well equipped for that.
Okay, never mind. New plan.
I left my sawdust and whatever else you use to make dynamite at home.
Yeah, I just assumed with how big your book bag is, you had some dynamite in there.
They don't let me keep dynamite anymore.
Thermite's all I'm allowed.
Gosh dang it. I just want to go over to the door. Is there an apparent handle?
There is no apparent handle. You see more of the same, like, it's almost like there's a tapestry carved into the door, just depicting historical events. But as you approach the door, and you walk past the statues and you approach the door, and as you get closer to it, you hear a voice from one of the statues.
Does anybody else hear the voice?
Yeah, everybody hears the voice as the
Good
statue on the
question.
left begins to stand and stretch and yawn, and the statue on the right begins to do the same.
Okay, so one of these two is only going to lie, and the other is only going to tell the truth.
I think that needs 2 doors to work.
Technically, it doesn't need 2 doors, but no, that's not.
I think that one might be the one that only lies.
That's a rude way to make a. That's so rude of you. That's just rude. Rock, do you believe how rude this person is? And the other one says, "No, Stone, I can't."
That one only tells the
Point.
truth. This makes sense.
I was really excited for their names to be Rock and Roll.
No, they are Rock and Stone. Different reference.
Okay, so hi. We're here looking for some crystals. It's kind of a big deal. It's very important. Do you think that you could maybe help us?
That was a real yawn, but we'll say it was in character. Rock, the one on the left with the deeper voice. Looking for crystals, huh? Why what are you doing here looking for crystals?
Oh, the queen sent us.
The queen sent you, huh? Wow. Prove it. And we are going to enter a conflict.
Might I suggest we take a quick break, because this feels like a really good time before we jump into it. We've been streaming for an hour. Well, over an hour.
I'm totally down. I think we probably have about an hour left, so this is good halfway point.
Perfect.
Cool.
Awesome. So we are chat. We're gonna go refill our water, stretch our legs, grab a snack. You should do the same. And when we come back, we're gonna do some stuff and things. Probably.
Gonna make good friends with two statue guys.
I'm gonna make friends with Stone because I don't trust Rot.
Fine. Tune in later in like 5 minutes. Okay, bye.
Good.
And we're back and we're making friends.
Whoa, we're back.
We're doing it. Welcome back, everybody. We're still playing Little Wolves. We're still in a cave with two dudes named Rock and Stone who have thrown down a metaphorical gauntlet. Nevyn.
Yeah, I think they literally just asked you to prove that you were here on an errand from the witches.
Yeah.
Or prove that you are with the witch court. And we have entered a conflict. This is a standard conflict. Y'all have 6 attempts to get 4 successes. Let's go for it. Who wants to try and convince them first?
Yeah, you got it. Never mind.
I have a kind of off the wall approach to this. I wanna try and come at the problem from a witch's point of view, and just kind of like try to brush them off and be like, "What's it to you?"
Okay, let's try it. Let's roll some dice. We'll see whether or not that works. You are doing this in your mortal form. Are you using any powers or anything like that to assist here, or are you just going for it?
No, I'm just going for it. I'm trying to channel what I imagine witches to be like.
Okay.
This is Leaf energy, and I'm so proud secretly.
So you're trying. Oh my goodness! You're trying here to channel wind, correct?
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with what I think is a witty response to what they're saying.
Sure, we'll allow it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, we're playing a questions game, and whoever like that's in her head where we're at.
Yeah. Even though they literally just asked you to prove. Let's go for it. I love this.
I've read stories about witch heroes overcoming problems by playing the questions game.
Classic Briggs with thinking too many steps ahead. Cool. So this to me sounds like wind. So start with 1 die. And then no attributes because you are mortal mode right now. You have no relationship to wind. So no dice there. I don't think you have an upper hand here either, especially. Maybe you think you have an upper hand here, but I don't think you do. Do you have any luck or anything like that?
I'm gonna spend a luck to bring it up to 2 dice.
Okay, perfect. Roll those dice. You were looking for a 2 or a 6.
Wouldn't you know it? A 4 and a 2.
Nice.
Damn. All right, so let me go mark this first one as a success.
What's it to you?
Oh, well, I'll have you know that we're here to guard this vault. Yeah, and if you were really witches, you would know that.
Them responding with a statement utterly breaks Bregasmith's confidence.
I'm going to say to Stone specifically, the Queen did tell us you would be here, and we were prepared to speak to you about her having asked us to come here. I'm going to use my active power, Silver Tongue. Your clever words convince a neutral or friendly creature to trust what you say.
Excellent. So that doesn't just get you a success though, but it's going to give you a bonus die to use here.
Yeah.
So this to me feels like it's water. You're being charismatic and trying to do some little trickery. So let's start with 1 die.
Okay.
And then gain another die for using your power.
Yep.
And then gain a die for water because you're strong in it. And I think that's it. 3 dice. You were looking for a 5 or a 6.
Okay. I rolled a 1, a 5, and a 1.
Hell yeah.
Gained 2 luck.
That's an incredible roll.
That's really good.
That's really good.
When it comes to rolling to help people, not great. When it comes to rolling to gaslight someone, incredible.
Well, that's great to hear. I'm glad that the Queen Celine told you of us, means you should be able to answer this next question. Just, I'm sure you understand we have to practice security when it comes to things like the vault. And all the while, while this is going on, Pivot, I think that you have noticed that the wind has started to not pick up in pace, but become more intense. And maybe this is because you are right by the door. But it's almost like the light from inside of it is getting brighter. The doors are starting to rattle heavier and heavier. But then Stone says, well, then I think maybe just a couple of more questions just to finish this verification.
Of course, Stone. For you, anything.
Rock goes, oh, Stone, you're being too nice. These are clearly just miscreants trying to get these valuable crystals. I'm talking to myself. The classic DM's folly.
Yeah, I think
having two characters.
I think that Pivot hearing the wind and then noticing it and we're gonna take more time here. Pivot will just yell, "Oh yeah, could a miscreant do this?" And I would like to, in an attempt to prove my alliance with the witch court, I would like to use my court power of dazzling light. To summon a floating orb in front of them to kind of show no, we're for real from the witch court. We ain't no scrubs.
Court powers are mortal powers.
Are they mortal? Dang it, I put my hat on because I thought explicitly. Is it
no
okay
worries, you can take it off though.
Perfect, that's what I want. Whoop. Yes, and then I would like to do the thing.
Cool, let's roll some dice then. So I feel like you're trying to go for wind here, and I think that works, trying to be a little clever with some spells.
Nice.
So let's do this check. You start with 1 die.
Nice.
Gain 1 for using that power. And then gain 1 because you are strong in wind, and that's what this check is for.
Nice.
And then roll those dice, and you were looking for a 2 or a 6.
I did not get either of those, but I did get 1.
Okay. So through a failure, I need you to lose 1 resolve.
Yes.
So I think you and Leaf are both at 3 right now. Excellent.
Because I fell down a river, because you can't just walk through.
So you cast this spell, and it does, light the room, and it's very pretty. What does Pivot's dazzling light spell look like?
So it's a small ball of light, and I think that it's a soft, really, really subtle mint green kind of hue, and it it glitters a little bit, and as it shifts and turns, it'll go a little bit more silvery green kind of a deal. But it's not anything particularly crazy, just the little ball.
Okay, excellent. But given that was a failure, I think Rock kind of just goes, that, and then snaps his fingers, and another ball of light kind of appears.
Oh, hey.
Anyone can do that. It's a party trick.
Not anybody can do it, buddy. Take it easy.
I can't do that.
No, that says more about you than it does about me, I think. Stone, get these questions over with.
What if we both said the name of the queen of the witches at the same time on the count of 3, but after 3, not on 3?
Well, I would say that would be a wonderful idea, but we've already said the queen's name.
Oh, dang it.
No.
No. I would like to try one other thing, unless anybody else has an idea.
No, you're good. I have a lot of luck, so if you don't get it on this roll, I'll blow a lot of luck.
Okay. So I just want to explain it because it'll be more succinct.
All right.
They're saying, "Oh, well, we already said the name." I would like to go, "Well, I know the queen. And Pivot will just start telling like a very detailed story about being in the queen's office this one time because she like there was some transgression. I would love to hear from the GM like kind of what it was, or what you think it could be, where she was found in a place that she shouldn't have been in, absolutely making a total mess of things, and how Celine and like just very like is just word vomiting very specific details.
Are you proving that you're from the witch court by obtusely citing the rules of the court without actually like saying these are the rules I violated, just like you described the situation in the punishment?
Correct. While also like everything about like the queen, her like personality, like her mannerisms, all of this stuff. I want to try to like court lore drop, but in a very Pivot way.
I love this. I think this is a great idea. I think maybe you were in the potion storage room or something.
Yeah.
Getting the potions that are for witches who are older than 21 years, you know.
Yes. And technically, I mean, come on, I'm like pretty much that age anyways, and I'm a werewolf. Age has got to be different, right? You know.
In dog years.
In dog years. It's something, I don't know.
In dog years, I'm 48.
That's great. But yeah.
Right, Keegan, you're a dog person. Does that math out?
I refuse to talk about dog year math because it's bad. If you're listening at home, the way dog years are now calculated change depending on how old the dog is. And if that doesn't make sense to you.
That's right. It's so ridiculous.
Oh, man,
anyways, yeah, I think we can totally give this a try. And I have some follow-up prompts that we can go to depending on how this goes.
Awesome.
You know, y'all have three more attempts to get 2 more successes. Excellent. Great. So yeah, let's I think this is probably bark.
Yes.
And I don't think this is necessarily wind.
I would agree with that. I feel like
you're not really being clever here. You're just kind of going.
Correct. I think
this could be fire, and I could also see water.
I would want to go more with water because I think if I'm leaning into Pivot, like I wanted this to kind of be endearing. Like I kind of want this to be like a oh bless her heart kind of a thing.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay, so let's start with 1 die.
Excellent.
And then gain for your bark, which I believe is 1. I don't think you lose anything for water.
Correct.
Okay. I don't think you have an upper hand here or anything like that either. So I think that's a pool of 2 dice.
I am going to spend a luck to make it 3.
Excellent. And you are looking for a 5 or a 6.
Oh, heck yeah. That's 3 5s. Holy shit.
Hell yeah.
That's a critical success.
So I think you kind of just go on and on and on for a bit. And eventually, I think Rock probably just like stops. He was like, fine. You know something about the queen. So what? Tell us. We've got one more question for you. What is the name of the ancient dragon that befriended the queen?
I'm going to turn to Stone and be like, Stone, darling, these questions, they're not any good. You have to understand this. This one's not a good question, right? And I'm just going to try to talk her into ending this quiz and letting us go through because I absolutely don't know the name of this dragon. Be like, you know the queen sent us. You know that anybody who read a history book obviously knows the name of the queen's dragon. What are we still doing here?
Okay, so rather than answer the question, you're trying to...
Wait, it's my bestie, because I'm still talking exclusively to Stone, because, you know, Rock only tells lies.
Sure. Okay, yeah, I think we can totally just make this check.
Yeah, I figure it's either it's successful and we go through, or it's not. So it's the right time to make this roll.
Excellent. So still in mortal form?
Yeah, still in mortal form.
Okay. I think that once again you're trying to go for water here.
Yep.
So start with 1 die.
Yep.
I don't think the use of the power doesn't really carry over in that
No, I
way.
wouldn't think so.
Gain 1 because you're strong with water.
Mhm.
And I think that that's it baseline. I think it's 2 dice.
Yeah, I
You
have a
want to spend
lot
some
of
luck?
luck. I have like a lot of luck now because I have 3. Can you spend more than 1 luck on a roll?
Yeah.
Great. I'm gonna spend 2 luck on this roll. I'll go ahead and roll that. And it's a 3, a 5, a 2, and a 3. 5 is water though, so that is a success.
Excellent. So that works. I think Stone just kind of goes, yeah, you're right. Listen, he just gets really worked up about this stuff. He's always really excited to play the guard. Stone, they're fine. Just let them in.
That one's wrong.
Lord, we have to be here. We have to do things right. It's our responsibility to protect the crystals.
And right at that moment, the doors explode open.
Thank you, Stone.
I
don't think
didn't
it's
do
a
that.
good explode.
Oh,
When I say the doors explode open, I mean like there is energy and they fly off of their hinges. One of the doors pivot. You're able to like get out of the way because you were already on edge about this. And one of the doors just flies and takes out Stone. It just slams into them and knocks them over, pinning them down. The other door is kind of just torn to pieces. Rock kind of screams like Stone and starts to picks up this massive two-handed sword and just says, "Which one of you did that? What did you do?"
We didn't do
And
anything.
before, as you're kind of like going, whoa, whoa, whoa,
I'm just barking.
you turn to the door and you realize that the wind has stopped. Or maybe, no, it's not that it stopped. You realize you can see the wind. Oh, you can see the wind. And it's in there with the crystals. And it's picking up pieces of the crystals, almost like it's peeling magical energy away from them and into itself. And it is forming this body of wind and magic and crystal shards. And within just a few moments, a massive hulking wind elemental is in the room with you. And now we're entering an elemental trial.
I bark.
I bark. It's super effective.
So I said, all right, so right now this is a wind. What do you do? As a reminder, elemental trials, your attunements are locked to the element of the trial.
Yep.
So every check that you make here, you are going to be looking for wind, and your relationship to wind affects your dice pool. That said, you can take actions that lean into your elemental strength to gain that die regardless. That's what we got. Who would like to go first? Oh, and this is a big one. You have 8 rounds to get 6 successes.
Okay. Stone is just pinned under the door, correct?
From what you can tell,
Okay.
hopefully that's all.
Okay. Does anybody else have any ideas they want to act upon in the immediate
Do we know anything about elementals? Like, what I think this is a thing that could speak to us, or
You can certainly try to talk to it. Elementals kind of come in all shapes and sizes.
okay,
They are a rare occurrence. You've likely never seen one before.
okay. And will we describe this elemental as aggressive, or is it just sort of ignoring us?
Aggressive.
Okay, cool.
It just hasn't had a chance to do anything yet.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I don't know if it's actually aggressive or if it just wanted to bust down the door and take a gem, and we just happen to be here. Because those are very different vibes or whatever. I'm just vamping right now. If anyone has a thought,
Yeah, I'm gonna go over to one of the broken statues that looks roughly my size in human form. I'm going to take a chisel and chip into it as quickly as I can, Breg. And I want to imbue it with part of my soul so that I can have a doppelganger buddy to help distract the elemental and like run circles around it.
Excellent. So you're going to one of the fallen statues that is like more together, and you are using which power is this?
Soul share. Spend one resolve and carve a name into an object to share a fragment of your soul with it.
Love it.
The object springs to life with thoughts and feelings of its own for 5 minutes. Restore one resolve when the object becomes inanimate again.
Yeah, I think it wakes up and kind of, receives your command. Is like, yeah, oh goodness, oh gracious, oh golly, oh me, oh my, yeah, sure, I'll do whatever I can to help. And just kind of goes and runs around. Let's go ahead and make a check here to see how effective that is. So elemental trials. All right, you are in your mortal form right now, so no attributes here. You gain 1 die. You just start with a die. I would definitely say that this is fire. You are, remind me, are you weak to wind?
I am not.
Okay, so you gain that die for fire. Go ahead and also gain a die from using this power.
3.
And I think it's it. I think that's 3 dice, and you are looking for a 2 or a 6.
Okay. That's a 6, a 1, and a 2.
Excellent.
Nice.
Go ahead and
Nice.
gain your luck. And yeah, this kind of works. The elemental is trying to like swipe at it, but the elemental is still like gaining its form, so it doesn't have full control. And it's really kind of just missing. While that's going on, Leaf and Pivot, what are you two up to?
I think I'm also going to approach the wind elemental and be like, "Hey, buddy, we're not trying to hurt you. We just need the gems you're currently going after. Calm down. I'm gonna keep a hand up. I'm gonna go ahead and use Placid Ward. Creatures at arm's length find themselves unable to harm you for a minute, and I'm just gonna get as close as possible to this thing and try to talk it down a little bit."
Yeah. Let's go ahead and give that a try. I think once again here, this feels like you're trying to go for water to pull in that. So start with 1 die, gain a die for using your power so that you can like have a moment to try and like talk to this thing. And then what is your relationship to wind?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, so gain that water dice.
Will do.
So should be 3 dice, and you are looking for a 2 or a 6.
Incredible roll. I got a 6 and 2 2s.
Holy cow.
Nice. Love to see it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to It looks like it is fighting on a lot of using a lot of energy here, and I'm trying to get it to sort of bluster itself out.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like distracted, really, and kind of confused because there's this guy made of stone running around, and there's this weirdo made of meat just trying to talk to it.
Yeah.
And I think that the force of the wind kind of diminishes a little bit as you do this. Pivot. This may not be exactly like your dream, but it's definitely strange. And I feel like if Pivot understood symbolism, there would be some alarm bells going off.
Yeah, I'm not excited about what's happening here. You mentioned that there were like crystals that it was kind of like whipping up into itself, right?
It's not that it's actually whipping up the crystals. It's like it's taking the magic from them.
Oh, crud. Oh no, I don't know what Pivot does here because I think I'm super freaked out.
Does Pivot maybe need to try and like overcome that fear somehow?
100%. I'm trying to decide like what that looks like because initially
Mhm.
I was thinking like keep it from like having the crystals as a part of it, but that requires Pivot to touch the crystals. So,
Mhm.
but I think that's kind of what it's gonna look like. I think I can't close the door. They have it distracted. I want to try and like figure out a way to interrupt this elemental's connection to the crystals.
Here's just a pitch, just a
Yeah,
thought.
yeah.
Just thinking about Pivot. Would she, rather than approaching the elemental embodiment of her worst fear dream,
Yeah.
would she maybe try to help out Rock or Stone instead? Would she be like, I can't go near this thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be over here.
Love
instead.
it. Love it. If it's like a matter of trying to get the door up off of Stone enough that Stone can help, absolutely would much rather do
Yeah,
that.
perfect. Yeah, I think you kind of like look at Leaf and Briggswith's team up here and go, okay, they probably seem to have that covered. And then you look over and you can actually see that Rock is like bent down and is trying to lift the door up.
This is perfect because that means Rock doesn't have their longsword. I would like to try and use the longsword to create a lever and fulcrum
and do some physics.
and do some physics to like lift this door up and use that precision to like make this job
perfect.
easier.
I think the longsword is like on the ground right next to Rock. And I think you go and you like pick it up and she goes, hey, what are you doing?
And I won't respond. I'm just gonna immediately gonna go and like do the thing. Actually, I love that. Yeah, she's just gonna scream physics and then
perfect. Love it.
do the thing.
Okay. Excellent. So let's see here. I think elemental here. I feel like that's wind, definitely, which is great because that already lines up with everything going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I could see sniff or claw.
I would say it's probably more claw, and it doesn't make a statistical difference for me either way. They're both one.
Yeah, it doesn't. Framing's fun. Cool. Yeah, so start with 1 die.
Got it.
Gain that 1 for your claw.
Perfect.
Gain that 1 for your wind.
Nice.
Do
I have the upper hand because Rock is helping me with this task?
Yeah, all right.
Nice.
So that's 4 dice. You're looking for a 2 or a 6. Odds are pretty good.
I got a 6.
Love to see it. So we are at 3 successes out of 6. Y'all are halfway there. Way to freaking go. Yeah, I think you start doing this and Rock just kind of chuckles a little bit. And then together, the two of you are able to get this door up. And once Rock can kind of get under it more, he basically just shoves it and it goes and flies and slams against a wall. Kind of flies really close to Leaf and then hits a wall right beside them.
Sorry.
I
and
know
then-
that's a lie.
and then just reaches down, and you can see stone now, and they are I mean, there are a bunch of rocks that got hit by a big rock, so they're definitely cracked and not in the best condition, but they're not dead or dying. And they are able to kind of, with your and Rock's help, they're able to stand up. And Stone goes, I just can't handle this sometimes. And then goes to their pedestal and picks up a big battle axe and starts to walk towards the elemental. Who's next?
I'm happy to go next. I think I'm seeing talking this elemental down isn't going to work. So I do shift again. And I'm going to try to sort of like bob and weave, as it were, and try to get to the stones in its hand and to grab them.
Okay, like trying to take some of the shard pieces out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we potentially have something. It drains
Mhm.
slower, something to that effect.
Gotcha. Okay. I feel like that's going to be claw.
Yep.
And elemental wise, I can definitely see wind for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because bobbing,
Bobbing and
weaving,
weaving. Yeah.
yeah, which is great because this is a wind challenge, anyways. So you get your 1 die. Then what's your claw?
My claw is +1, so it's 2 die.
Okay.
And then I
You
don't have wind,
you don't get anything for wind.
but I will blow a luck on this as well,
Okay.
which will bring me to 3 dice. I'll go ahead and roll that.
2 or 6.
2 or 6. I got a 6, a 2, and a 5.
Nice. Excellent. Y'all are rolling really good tonight.
It's going great.
It's going wonderful.
I didn't immediately have my ass handed to me during an elemental challenge. Imagine that.
You did get your ass handed to you by a river, though. So there is
you
that.
You did get absolutely.
To be fair, my whole plan with the river was to go downstream and get that shot of me walking back soggy and being like, that didn't work.
I loved it.
And
Sometimes
then
you fail
Nevyn was
for the bit.
immediately like, you roll. And I was like, okay, I'm going to roll. I'm not going to spend anything on this roll.
Excellent.
Like, I'm willing to take the hit to make a funny joke.
Yeah. So we got a success here. Y'all are at 4 out of 6. You need 2 more. I think you're able to kind of reach up in there and just swipe a few of the shards.
Mhm.
You know that it's probably not enough for the favor, but you have something, which I imagine Leaf thinks is obviously better than nothing.
Yeah. Also, like, if I've been trying to make myself a bit of a target by being right in front of it, I imagine this helps with that a little.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, who's next? Brigsmith or Pivot? What does one of you want to try to do?
Do you have an idea?
Yeah. I think what I want to try is basically making I want to try and overcharge some of the crystals that are in it by throwing other crystals at it. Right, because these are elemental wind crystals on the walls, right?
The magical crystals are inside of the chamber that it is standing in front of.
Oh.
And they're not just wind, y'all just haven't failed a check yet. Don't worry about it. Figure something out.
Doesn't matter unless you fail a roll.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna find a suitably sized piece of rock and huck it at any like cluster of crystals that I can see in the body of this thing.
When in doubt, huck it.
When in doubt, huck rock.
Huck the rock.
If you want to specifically throw elemental crystals, I'm happy to hand you the ones I just stole from it.
Oh
those
yeah, yeah.
are like
Oh.
discharged elemental crystal shards.
They might still be fun to throw.
They would still be fun to throw, but I'll say that the rock is probably more effective at this point.
Okay, sure.
Excellent. This I think could be either earth or fire.
I'll take fire if you'll give it to me.
I want you to flavor it for me. Like, describe to me how this is fire. Give me some of that spice, you know?
Yeah, it's I think there's a moment of Bragiswith kind of like looking nervous and being like, no, I can't do this. There's too much chaos. I have a friend running around and it's part of my soul. And then echoing in her head is Cardamom saying, "Don't fuck this up." And then just like a look of determination.
I love
and
it.
Popping up from the rock to go.
Excellent. I'm imagining like this big, like one of those rocks you gotta like squat down and pick up with just like.
I am in
It's
wolf
fucking
form,
rock.
so I was imagining more like I had, you know, those things that you use to throw tennis balls for dogs.
Yes.
Mhm.
The chuckets.
I got one of those, and I'm
Basically like a
Fucking-
sling.
yeah. A
Nice.
dog
Alright.
sling.
Less hucking, more whipping.
I mean, huck is the state of the object in flight.
You know, it's all about the vibes.
I think you got it wrong. It's a yuck. It's the goofy
No.
noise when he throws the perfect cast at the
I mean,
end.
he is a dog, so
Oh shit.
He's a little wolf if you think
It's
about
all
it.
coming
Yeah,
together.
Yuck.
Nevyn, what is
goes
happening?
flying.
We have to add the chord of goof.
hey,
All right,
don't take things
I
away
think-
from your future supplement writers.
We have plans for
Ooh.
additional supplements. But
You didn't know about
we'll
him, so
that
not you, is what Nevin's trying to say.
Okay, so this is definitely claw, and I will totally give you fire for this, thanks to that wonderful scene. So that's start with 1, then I think your claw is 2, correct?
No, my claw is 1. My sniff.
Your
is
sniff
2.
is 2. Your sniff is 2.
I'm
Yeah.
sniffy,
So
not
1,
clawery.
1. Do you lose anything from wind or no?
No.
Okay, so you just gain 1 from fire. That's 3 dice. You are looking for yet again a 2 or a 6.
There's a 2, a 3, and a 5.
Nice.
Nice, excellent. So yeah, you whip it, you huck it,
Yuck.
and I mean, what does it look like as it hits this elemental? You're throwing a rock through wind, basically. So I would love to know how this affects it. Does it maybe just further distract it and slow it down?
I like to think that it gets picked up inside the its internal tornado-y bits. But because it has it's heavier in mass, the crystals that are lighter around it keep smashing into it.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
I
it's
like that. That's cool as heck.
it's turning
doing
the
physical again.
shards into kind of a dust.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, it's taking more energy to carry it because it's such a heavier thing. Great, I love it. And I think that takes us back to pivot for what could be the last check of the trial.
I
I
yell, pivot, what would a witch do?
what would a witch do? I think
Pivot pausing in real time to think about it.
yeah, I think
Galaxy brain.
the numbers lady. I think that I still have rock sword. And I just saw what Bark Spitter did, and I think I want to throw the sword in there.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think it's like, what would a witch do? And Pivot goes, I don't know, like, because I'm not really one. But my cool friend
Aw.
Barkspitter is metal as hell, so I'm gonna do that.
We get the whole galaxy brain sequence, a bunch of flashes of your childhood, and then it zooms back out on your face. I don't know.
Yes.
Excellent.
Perfect.
So claw for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we've basically established this is absolutely not what a witch would do.
Correct.
So what element do we think it is out of? I mean, it could just be earth for just like raw strength.
I would say I would argue for earth over like fire.
But also, because of how trials work, you're not actually gonna lose anything.
Right.
So we're doing one for claw, one for wind, one for baseline dice. So 3 dice, looking for a 2 or a 6. Do you want to spend any luck or do anything else?
I don't have any.
Great. You're going to get it.
I got a 1, a 2, and a 6.
Perfect.
6 does it.
So what does it look like as this sword kind of flies into this wind elemental? How does it dissipate?
I would like to think that, like, as we saw with Barkspitter's rock, that it got like taken up into the elemental itself. As I throw the sword, it kind of spirals through the air, and when it comes into contact with the elemental itself, it almost like stops and like sharply redirects, almost as if this weapon is enchanted to manage elementals in some way, like part of the guard, and it will like cut through the wind to a specific point within the elemental and like start vibrating, and the wind will eventually just will pick up in speed for a second and then dissipate with everything falling to the ground, and then the sword will like slowly just like float down again, as if it was enchanted this entire time. This is exactly what this weapon was meant to do.
Amusingly, this is exactly what a witch would do, we discovered.
Correct. And it's all very, it feels very like momentous and cool. But I would like to think that Rock and Stone were like, yeah, we were gonna do that. We just needed a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Rock says, I was about to do that. And I go, he's lying.
I think what Rock actually says is, well, I guess you are witches. Take what you need. And tell the queen we need a new door. Again.
As we walk to the cavern, I'm gonna be like, so we're not free to take the crystals, but we shouldn't tell the queen the door is broken.
You think too hard.
I'm not thinking hard enough.
I'm gonna get up to the entrance of the cavern and just very nervously like look in. But
it is just this beautiful geode of multicolored crystals. They're changing colors between red, green, blue, and brown. I think purple is wind.
Brown was wind.
Brown was earth. Listen, it's past my bedtime.
Listen, I think Pivot will think that it is very beautiful and will turn to her friends and go, okay, do one of you guys want my glove, or are you okay? I mean, if you haven't had the dream, maybe you don't have to worry about it, but
you look over and Bragg is like already like plucking crystals.
And nothing's happening.
And nothing's happening.
You're just taking crystals. Just put them in your big backpack.
I don't have
Oh
thumbs.
no,
I'm
I have
sorry.
I have a special satchel that has detached from the backpack.
Excellent.
My
I will say,
delivery satchel.
I will say, y'all need like some big boys, some big crystals. But you know, you take your time and you gather up what you think is probably the right amount of crystals.
Absolute shots in the dark on the
Mhm.
quantity of crystals needed. Luckily, I have extra bags inside my bag just in case.
I'm shedding
Perfect.
stones as I sit here, and they keep pelting my arm. Off the mask, they keep falling off.
Good stuff. All right. So y'all gather up crystals. You make your way out. And you
Is
head. Yeah. Go
Stone
ahead.
okay?
Oh yeah, I'm fine.
She only tells the truth.
While the other two are collecting crystals, I'm gonna use Artificer to help patch Stone up.
Yeah, absolutely. You spend those points, and you know, it takes the rest of the time to gather crystals for you to do this, but you're able to get them
Seems
fixed up.
seems like we don't want a situation where there are no guardians left here.
You know, we've been saying that for a while, but well, I really don't want to talk about it, to be honest.
Oh no.
I'll see if I can get leave to come back and maybe help your other friends. Looks at the remains of the other statues.
What am I going to
hold-
do about that?
The people who made us haven't been around for a long time.
That's fine. I love old stuff.
Thank you for your help today. Now, I'm gonna go back to sleep for a while. And they both get back on their pedestals, kneel back down. And y'all are able to make your way back to the town. I think by the time you leave the cave, it's night. And I believe
Ooh.
one of you has a power about seeing the
Yeah.
stars after an encounter.
Gonna get me that
Um,
resolve back. Bow.
See,
You
I was
need-
gonna make us food on the way up the elevator.
You can totally do that too, because I know y'all still. I know one of you at
That'll
least.
get
is
me
missing
back.
some resolve.
I have shared dinner, which says if you're out of danger and your allies, you and your allies can pass time to prepare and enjoy a meal. Anybody who describes their contribution can recover 1 resolve. So you actually do have to do something.
Oh, maybe I don't resolve. No, sorry. What do I need to describe? I could look.
Well, so we're making and enjoying a meal together.
Yeah.
And to get the resolve back, you can cook, serve, entertain, or just like generally describe your contribution to the meal
Yeah,
time.
I mean, I entertain. That's fine. I think I'm telling a story about a party I went to at the Mermaid Court, and specifically the food they were serving, and how this the smells of this remind me of that. But I'm going long with this story.
Perfect. Excellent. Yeah, both of you can regain a resolve.
Done.
I have a question because partway up the elevator, Bregaswith is suddenly like, wait a second. If I take a big bite of beef jerky, is my curse fixed?
No.
You're like, wait a second. You take a bite of beef jerky, then immediately throw it up.
Oh
And
no.
meal ruined.
Yeah, big I threw up energy.
Oh no.
I threw up.
Oh no.
Chief, what are you doing in the nurse's office?
I threw up.
Sir, I threw up.
Anyways, y'all are able to make it back up to town after throwing up. And you go back to Celine. and it's night now. So looking up at the sky as you're walking through the town, you can see dozens of witches flying around in the skies. That's exactly it, Keegan. Thank you. Dozens of witches flying around through the skies and pushing clouds away from the moon so that the moon's light can continue to shine on Zephyr's Rest and the furthest reaches of the forest. You make your way back up to the academy. You get to Celine's office, and before you knock on the door, it opens, and you are welcomed in. And you see that the room is actually very together now. Books are put away nicely. There are no piles and piles of disheveled paper on the desk. There are still, rather than 4 different cups, there are only 2 different cups with different drinks in them right now. And Celine welcomes you back. Says, yes, the champions of Zephyr's Rest have returned. Welcome. Were you able to get the crystals without too much trouble?
I think we'll need a new door, but we did get the crystals.
Also,
Yeah,
if,
it's not the first time that's happened. Well,
Yeah, that's
you
what
could-
Stone
I'll get
said,
some
so I
right on
believed
that.
it.
if you could put in a good word with the Pumpkin Queen, I said I might come back and try to fix some of Stone and Rock's friends.
You're welcome back anytime.
Because it's so cute.
Well, thank you all for your help. I'll make sure these get to Ashworn nice and safe. Did you want to see some newts?
Yes.
Okay. And as she like stands up, finishes rolling another cigarette, and just walks past the 3 of you out of the room, tapping you each on the shoulder with the lit joint as she goes.
I yell.
It's more like getting you with the smoke.
I fall
kind
over.
of like smudging you with.
Can't believe she's ashing on us.
Did she burn you with it too?
I didn't think about my words before saying them. This is what happens when I play games after 9 p.m. U.S. Central.
I've been.
She's granting you her favor. So you all once again gain 2 XP. You'll gain 1 for the elemental trial, 1 for the favor, and you are gaining marks. And I'm going to paste in our chat the wind and witch marks that you get from this. For the elemental trial, wind is a spike feather or a yellow gem. And for the favor, for helping out the queen, for witches, it is a witch's hat, a bird's wing, a key, a newt, a dragonfly, or some other symbol that represents wind. And y'all can add those whenever you want. And yeah, I think she just takes you to where some of the younger newts are. And you see that there's a small tank, like a small aquarium with some newts that are maybe the size of a pinky nail. Then there's kind of like a playpen with some newts that are the size of an arm, a hand, a head. And when she takes you out back, kind of behind the stables, you look over the northern reaches of Zephyr's Rest and into the far, deep canyon. And you see maybe 3 or 4 massive, gigantic newts, maybe the size of the castle itself, just kind of moving around. Munching and chilling. And Celine says, those are the ones Pivot's supposed to feed. They're not even dragons yet.
No, but they are jerks.
They're not that bad. You just suck at feeding them.
Which is why maybe we shouldn't have me do it anymore.
Not gonna get better if you don't practice. All right. I have to get back to work, but thank you all again. Have a wonderful evening. And she turns and walks away. And that's it.
That's game.
That's game.
Unfortunately.
Where's
You still
Cardamom?
Yeah, I was like, unfortunately, you still can't eat food.
I love the like it's like the sun is rising, you know what I mean? Like it's this beautiful moment and we're all just kind of standing there looking at these majestic creatures. And Burgess just goes, "Wait, where the fuck is Carmen?" Like cuts to credits.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. That's it. That's Little Wolves,
Yay!
y'all. Thank you so much for playing.
Woo! I
Thank
loved
you for
it.
being here.
Yeah.
Thank you for running
Awesome.
this game. I really enjoy the game. Keegan, what's the segment called? Reaction roll reaction.
Reaction roll. You got it right the
pretend-
first time.
Pretend
So
that
it's a podcast within a podcast.
yeah, pretend that I put a slide up that says words on it and stuff. But we talk about the game and what we liked about it and all the stuff and things. Spoiler alert, Sarah really enjoyed this. I think the vibes are really great. The tone of the game is really sweet. I love how easy it is to do the thing, and how the dice can support you in that, but you still have to be an active participant, like in describing what's going on and everything. And I think that's really rewarding. So well done. Very excited to play more of this game and add to my little mask.
Yes, I love the masks so much. They're like my favorite part.
Yeah, Dinoberry Press has at least 2-3 games that have got my arts and crafts brain ticking, and it's one of my favorite parts of seeing what y'all concoct.
Thank you so
My
much.
other big favorite thing is two. I really like novel dice systems that do something interesting with like what their rolls do and what they mean. So I really enjoy how the target number keeps shifting around, but it's not like target to beat. And I also really love the world building that's in the book. I know you at home didn't get to read it, but I read it and I was like a kid in a candy shop.
Soon enough, we should have a demo that has some of the world building in it, just as a little bit of a teaser. So keep an eye out on the Backer page and on our newsletter, which you can find at dinoberrypress.com. Yeah, we got some plans to release some stuff early so people can kind of get their own hands on it. I'm even writing up a full quest, an introductory quest for the demo. That is actually very based on the first adventure that y'all did.
Nice.
Ooh.
Dog fooding, I see.
I'm eating dog food?
No, I'll explain later.
Okay.
Keegan, what are your thoughts?
I had a lot of fun. I was gonna say the same thing Verm did about really enjoying the world building of this game. Every time it's like, oh, cute, it's a little newt. It's like, no, actually, here's how it's a dragon. It's like, okay, no, that rocks actually.
Mm-hmm.
I am such a fan of like all the little creatures that Jam and I have put together for this. She really did like pop the fuck off.
The little dog from last session.
The hullabaloo?
Well, even
Yeah.
the chicken of the forest too. The little
Chicken of the
mushroom.
woods.
Chicken of the
the little
woods.
mushroom
Yeah,
with the human ass.
Yeah.
it was so cute.
I don't know if the human ass is actually a part of the lore, but I could
It is-
only
it is
picture
not.
its little human butt cheeks.
So cute. So yeah.
It's funny to have a weird little
It's
a
little
weird
guy.
little freaky guy with just a butt.
It's when you describe him as like this weird little guy, and you're like, yeah, he has all these eyeballs on his head. I just assumed he had a human little butt.
He does just-
Yeah.
I think Jam was in the chat and said, "Yeah, of course."
yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
100%. That is exactly what happened.
I think the lore master agreed with me that
Yeah,
Chicken of the Woods do have little human butts.
Correct.
Mhm,
as they should.
mhm.
Correct.
As they should. Absolutely.
So folks who are watching this, the link for checking out the games and stuff is beneath our heads down there, bytes.rip /littlewolves. Nevyn, just a reminder on the dates for all the stuff.
Yeah. So first up, big date is that Little Wolves is coming to Backer Kit on May 14th. We're going to be crowdfunding. Give us money so we can make this really cool game. We're going to have a lot of really cool stuff available, ranging from there's going to be a special limited edition, one-time print only hardcover that comes with a dust jacket of the wonderful art by J.N. Butler and an alternate cover that Jam is going to be designing. It's going to be this nice, like, forest green with gold foiling. There are also special art prints. There's a custom dice set with faces that match each of the elements and their functions. And of course, it wouldn't be a setting game without a frickin' map. This thing is huge. This map is massive, and it's awesome. And when in doubt, it's bandana size, so you can wear it like a bandana. Never get lost in the forest.
Hell yeah.
So that is May 14th. And we are going to be at Breakout Con in a couple of weeks. So if you are there, come say hi. I think my Justicar game that I'm running still has room. So if you want to play another fun Dinoberry Press game,
It's very fun.
find that slot on Saturday.
Awesome. And Nevyn, where can the people find you on the internet and things?
They can find Little Wolves at bytes.rip /littlewolves. They can find Jam and me and all of the stuff that we do at dinoberrypress.com. And if you want to join our Discord, that's bytes.rip /discord.
Nice. Very good. Vermin, tell the people who you are, what you got going on, where they can find you.
Hey everybody, I'm Legendary Vermin. You got to see me playing the inimitable Breakuswith this evening, and you can find me on the internet you can find me on the internet in all the places on the internet that matter as Legendary Vermin. That includes Itch, Twitch, YouTube, Blue Sky, the bird site formerly known as Quack.com. Yeah, you check me out on Neon Lights Roleplay, where I stream regularly. I will be back there next Tuesday, same start time as here, 5 p.m. Pacific, for another episode of another game demoing somebody's new work, and that will be Case and Soul by Briar Sovereign. They've designed another real rootin' tootin' mech shooting game.
Nice.
And I'm having a great time with it already. If you want to see the games that I make, you go to legendary-vermin.itch.io. I have my own mech game over there, and it's getting art very, very soon, done by the inimitable Oryx and Croat, who is a just terrific artist. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's what's up.
Keegan, tell the people what you got going on. What's happening? What's new?
What do I have going on? Nothing.
Nothing.
I don't do anything. We will be back though, March 3rd for an episode of Character Study with new what's the official name for Cassie Mothwin? We just came up with this.
Cassie
Club Czar.
if we want to go with the one that Cassie selected for herself, it was Zine Fiend.
Zine Fiend, Cassie Mothwin, the new head of Zine Club. If you're wondering what Zine Club is, that's +1 EXP. Every month we put out 2 games by new and emerging designers. They'll all be first prints. Coming up in March, we actually have Longsword by Vidicia Valetti. It looks excellent, has great art. I'm not
so
killing
for
time
Longsword.
to figure out where I closed the window. There it was. And then our story game this month is going to be Wicked Congregation by Daniel Kwan. So it is an excellent month to join. If you want to join RPG Zine Club, you go to rpgzineclub.com. Pretty easy. And then +1 EXP, we're going to be at Game Face Con in Baltimore in a few weeks. I think it's in like 2 weeks. I'll maybe be there. Tony will definitely be there. Come out. It should be fun, I think.
Great.
I'm not selling cons well. I don't enjoy doing cons, but this one seems fun.
Great. And I think that wraps it up for us. So everybody wave goodbye to the people and the stuff, and maybe do a little ow, and we hope you enjoy your pizza. Okay, bye.
Oh.